Hi everyone. So I'm on here to talk again. Last night and then today. Part of the reason, or it actually is the reason I'm on here, is somebody has reared their ugly head. That's my terminology. Because their energy, it's a facade. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And then when you really get to know them, you find out they're master manipulators. So that's what this conversation is about right now, is just that, manipulators. I was talking with my friend Deb this morning about what happened, and to share with you guys all is this morning I woke up to somebody who showed up on my, not just showed up, but commented on my YouTube channel, and then they subscribed. So I immediately deleted their comment. And this subject may be sensitive to some people, so please honor and respect yourself. Please. Oops, I forgot to do something. Shit. Okay, just give me a sec. I had forgotten my phone because, whoops, sorry for that. Oh, there we go. Because I need to make my Facebook page public. So what I'm about to talk about here, it just gives you guys a little bit more insight to what I've been through. And when I say this, I'm not quite sure how to start this, so I'm just gonna just wing it, I could say, meaning say whatever comes to mind. I ended a very abusive relationship over 10 years ago. And the reason why I know it's over 10 years ago, because where I moved into in 2013. So, so it's longer than then. And this is the thing about what kind of people I allowed into my life and into my world. Because I could always see the good in other people. Because I could see and feel their hearts and just really who they are. But the sad part, they just don't take responsibility. So I ended that relationship over 10 years ago. And since then, I've had zero communication, zippo, for over 10 years. None. And even when I went to a women's dance, if she was there, she would, and I'm going to use this term, chase / follow me. So essentially, she started coming towards me. So I would move and try to, and I even had to dodge between people to avoid her. Because she just does not respect other people's boundaries. It's a typical narcissist. No, I'm a good person. I'm going to show you. You don't get to tell me what I can and can't do. Fuck you. I sure as hell can. Because anything to do with my own private space is mine. Even if I'm at a dance or something public and she's there, that does not give her the right to come into the table, group of people I'm hanging out with. She did that. And I just ignored her. My friends were very, they knew who she was. And so in January is the first time I've done anything in the gay community in over 6-8 years, because I don't need to be amongst the gay community. I don't need their support. I need my own support, which is me. And so in January, I decided to go to this lesbian gathering for dinner at a restaurant. So I enjoyed myself. It ended up, I met somebody like, I guess it'd be like 20 years ago. She recognized me, I just didn't recognize her. And she told me who she was. I went, oh yeah, I remember. So, because I dated her cousin. So within 2 days of me going to this gathering, she went on to, because I have her blocked on my personal page, but she went on to my business page and she sent me a message. So I'm reading this thing because I'm not looking to see who it is. I'm just reading a message. And I'm going, what? What? And then I went and looked who it was. I went, what the fuck? But here's the cool part. What I'm getting to here is we know when we're around certain people how it makes us feel. And what I found quite amazing, that I had absolutely no reactiveness inside of me, none. Because now I'm totally detached. All the hurts, the wounds, what she did to me physically, like we're talking about physical abuse, emotional, psychological, the whole gamut. And it took me a long time to work through, to understand for myself. And when I say this, I would like to share this part with you guys, is because we were actually living together. And I was born and raised with chaos. I'm familiar with that. It's comfortable to me. It was comfortable because that's what I was familiar with. And then this one night, her two older boys, which were in their 20s, early 20s to mid 20s then, and they were at our place. And she was doing her batshit craziness. That's the only way I know how to describe it at this moment. That I went into the other bedroom and I shut the door. She kept on opening up. She did some damage to my speakers that are up here. She has a rage inside of her that is just unreal. The reason why I'm speaking about this, because I'm not minimizing what she did. I was so scared because I was trying to keep my door closed to the bedroom, and she kept on pushing it, trying to push it open. And like when these people are in a rage, like their strength is incredible. And I had my back to the door using all my weight, and she kept on pushing against the door. And she managed to reach her arm around, and she got my face, and she did this, and she pulled my glasses off. I called 911, and the lady could hear her pushing, talking. She goes, "You okay?" I said, "Yep, just get the cops here." And that's the first time in my life I've ever had to call the cops. So all of a sudden she realized I had called the cops. And she says to her two boys, "She called the cops on us." Right? So they packed up and they were heading out. And so they met the cops down the lobby. There's the cops come up. And I told him what happened, because when I say this, this is the thing where a lot of people mistaken survivors, what you may not really see, because the cops actually thought I was fine. I was just a fight, two women fighting. And when I was talking to the cops, and I said, "Can you help me find my glasses? I don't know what she did with them." And then we found one lens, which was fine. And then the cops were going to go talk to her. And so I'm trying to find my glasses without being able to see properly. I don't talk about this very often. My glasses have always been very similar, rimless on the bottom. What she had done, sorry for the screech there, what she had done was, of course, the lenses were popped out. She took the arm, both arms, looped it in through the thing and back around a couple times on both sides. Mangled them. And the cops are now talking to her just outside our front door. And I knocked on my door to tell them, like, I'm going to open this door. And I opened the door and I said to the cops, "Here's my glasses." Because it showed them clearly what happened. And so after they talked to her, they came in, they said, "Okay, her and her boys are going to go to a hotel tonight. And so you're okay tonight." Well, I barricaded that door, and the cops left. And there was a lady, I know I was reaching out for support through different venues, I could say, different avenues. And this woman, who just so happens to be a fellow lesbian, she said, if that was a man, they would have charged him. And the way she said it, I went, yeah, because I never thought of it. Because the cops just saw two women that lived together, partners. They just had a spat. It's just women spat, as if things can't get out of hand. And that we're dealing with an abusive partner. And so I phoned up the police. And I talked to the constable, and he goes, "Okay, come on in." And he checked with his partner, and they both thought everything was fine. So when I get in there, and I was in this room, and I allowed myself to show him my vulnerability, how scared I was. Because in that moment, I was a survivor, which means you don't get to see fuck all. I'm in survival mode. I know that mode. And the cops just presumed, without, destroying my glasses. And we all know, any of us who've ever dealt with glasses, they're not fucking cheap. And thank God I still have one of my old pairs around. At least I could see somewhat. And so here I am, 10 plus years later. Like I said, in January, she reared her ugly head. I didn't react inside. Not at all. I was blocked because I ignored it. And when I say this, everybody has their own ways of dealing with these kinds of people. Even when I was talking to Deb, Deb said, you know, just respond to her, blah, blah. I said, no, you don't understand. She is the type of person you cannot give her an inch, because she's a master manipulator. We even have people in our community here that are manipulators. We can sense it. We can't, because we think that somebody's in this amazing spiritual community. Oh, they're all good people. No, they're not. Use your discernment. Listen to your gut. Listen. It doesn't matter what you think because they're this or that. Mm-mm. And that's why there's people in this community that have my highest, utmost highest respect. Todd Medina, Susanna Mara, Jade Rader, Deb Malone, Sarah Jane Walsh, etc. There's lots of you guys out that are out there that I respect you all. But the thing is, with these people, which I'm speaking of, is they lead by example. Through a higher consciousness, because you guys have all helped me to understand this within myself. So going back to this morning, she rear ugly head again on my YouTube channel, because I blocked her on Facebook. She can't get in there unless she turns around and creates another Facebook, then she can see, then I'll just block her again. No big deal for me. There's no attachment. But I matter. And like even this morning, she made a comment on my live last night. And I just went. Then she subscribed to my channel without her realizing I can fucking block her, which I've been using YouTube to figure out how do I block her. Because I do not want her energy in and around me at all. And this is the thing, the reason why I'm sharing this is, you know, when she reared her ugliness head in January, and I found myself non-reactive, and I went, and because it was Spirit showing me just how much I've healed, I've moved higher within myself, more connected to me. And I'm, you know, even this morning, not reactive, I just went, fuck. She doesn't get it, because here's the thing, what I have learned, that's where I have an issue when people are talking about other people. Yep, they sure do come back in the strange ways. And, you know, because of course I delete her comment right away, number one. Number two, I just got to figure out how to block it. I wouldn't listen to one YouTube, but I couldn't quite figure it out. I'll figure it out after I'm done this, because I had a few things I need to do. And that, but listen, for me, some people go into I could say the word, the victim role. Oh, this is going on. That person doing this to me. That person's doing this to me. Blah, 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 blah. Right? They're not doing anything to you. The question is, why are you, not why are you, I'll take that back, is go within, because what's got me through all of this is knowing the truth. Everything that she has done to me, she has told people that it was me that did it to her. I'm master at deflection, master at you know, manipulating people. I even had there's a lady that hosts, she's retiring this year after I don't know how many years of her hosting dances for women. And her name is Jackie, and she was having a dance, and I called her up. I said, I'd like tickets for the dance. She goes, okay. And then she said to me, I need to tell you something. I said, what? She goes, I'm dating Anne. I said, okay. To me, it was no big deal. And then, now I cannot actually recall this part as I go to say this, if it happened in that conversation or she called me back and told me this. I'm not quite clear on that, so I'm being very clear here. Is all of a sudden, Jackie said to me, oh, I can't have you at my dance. I said, what? Yeah, because Aunt, and she was using Anne, and I'm going, your relationship with Anne has nothing to do with the dances. These are public dances that you host. If I actually had done something to you and disrespected and blah, 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 that's one thing. But I haven't done anything. You and Anne, I don't give a shit about. And she goes, sorry, that's the way it is. So we ended that conversation. And then I think it was a couple of weeks or so later, she called me back. And this is where she gained my respect for her. She goes, Ernie, I need to apologize to you. She goes, I had no right to say that to you. I said, yeah, I know. I wasn't throwing that in her face. And she goes, I'm really, truly sorry. And then she also informed me that her and Ann are no longer together. So I went over to her place to pick up my ticket for the dance. And we started talking. And that's when I found out that what Anne had done to me, Anne was trying to say I did it to her. Oops, I said her name. Whoops, sorry. Wasn't planning on doing that. Anyway, said it. It's done. Anyway, so and this is one thing about master manipulators. It's like even when Anne showed her ugliness, when I say this, we all have beauty inside us. But the truest beauty is when you own your own fucking shit and take responsibilities. That's when you may gain some of my respect back. But she was projecting and deflecting, and everybody go, oh, poor you, oh, she's terrible, she's terrible. I don't need to go around and talk about what happened to me in that relationship. I don't talk about it because I'm giving that energy. I don't want to give it any energy, but because I'm a true introvert, I go within. And with myself, because my friend Deb made a couple of suggestions, I said, no, you don't know how good a manipulator she is. And here's a scary part, too, and I'm saying scary, though, just scary. She's a fucking nurse. I know she's got a heart of gold. She's charming and all that stuff. Because she knows how to da-da-da-da. And I'm sharing this for the fact is that when somebody says no to you or stop, stop. Because when somebody says, well, da-da-da-da-da, that's manipulation. It's like, I spoke about this a little bit last night about, I told somebody, I cannot talk about this. But they kept on going on. So it got to the point where I just didn't bother saying a word. Because if I don't engage at any level with that person, where can they go? Nowheres. Try it out. It's quite interesting. And then they think I'm being fucking rude. No, I'm not. You're not listening when I say, I cannot talk about this now. And I can appreciate that other people are going through stuff. right? I know people are going through stuff even now, which I spoke about last night. And, you know, I sort of lost my thought here, but here's the thing is this, is you know for yourself in any friendship, any relationships that we all have, not everybody's perfect, but respect yourself. Respect yourself. And go within and look, because I remember, I think it was around 2015, 2016. I think around 2016. Somebody had posted a thing about covert narcissist. And I read what she had posted. And then I looked up covert narcissist. And I went, holy shit. In that particular moment, that's my current landlord. Just, yeah, covert narcissist. Then all of a sudden, I went, oh my God, that was my past relationship. Oh my God, that was the partner before. Oh my God, the partner before. And then all of a sudden I realized my biological family. All I was doing is keeping around this dysfunctional, chaotic life with exactly what I was raised with. It was familiar to me. It was comfortable to me. Doesn't mean I think it's okay. Doesn't mean that at all. But in that moment of understanding about a covert narcissist shifted so much inside of me. Because when we sit there and we can do this monkeyness, going around in circles, you know, why? Does it really matter? Don't worry about them, why they did this or why they did that. Because quite frankly, it's none of your fucking business. It's not part of your circus. But if you do, then you're becoming their circus. And that's where, with me, I look at myself. And this, you know, it's like I was saying a bit ago about how that person did this to me. That's the victim role. I choose not to be in the victim role because I'm not a victim. There's circumstances, yes. But that's where I've grown and expanded within myself, and I've grown immensely. And it's like I was sharing with Deb, because we both have a mutual friend, Jade Rader, and not sure Jade found me or I found her, doesn't really matter, but we were friends on Facebook, and I went to unfollow her. I could not. I went, what? Come on, unfollow. Couldn't. And it was Spirit intervening, saying to me, you need to follow this woman. And sure enough, and being connected to people like Jade, and now, you know, this community and the Soul family, and some of you guys know who Todd Medina is, some of you guys don't know who Todd Medina is, some of you guys know who Sology is, some of you guys do not know who Sology is. I recommend, and I don't do this lightly or easily, Todd Medina. And he is Sology. Spirit gave him that name and told him what to do with it. He brings on 1 to 3 people a day, average, depending. Some days he needs a break for himself. And if you guys are not aware of this, that Sology has its own network now for us all to go speak truth, whatever that is. There's no censorship in it. If you go to soulogynetwork.com, SOULOGY network.com. Todd's in there. And that's where he's doing his shows from now. And Chris is still switching from YouTube, Facebook, and etc. over that way now. And through Todd, I started connecting with all of you guys. Because my friend Jade was actually on there with Todd over 3 years ago. I am so grateful for this community that I'm a part of. We're all here to help and assist each other by speaking truth, whatever that is. If you catch yourself falling into the victim role of blaming other people, stop. Please stop that for your sake, not mine, for your own sake. Go within and start spending time with yourself, asking yourself questions. Understand why you did this, why you did that. It's the same thing, you know, I almost can see the lady's name who posted a covert narcissist. It altered everything. Because again, I don't talk to people. I don't. You know, you may think it's like, what? Yeah. I just don't talk to people. I like even going to Soulful, like I met a lot of people, but did I actually have conversations with them? Very few. I got to move around Soulful without anybody intruding my space. First time in my life. First time being done anything for myself in 32 years. Something Deb and I were talking about is with what happened with my now ex over, 10 plus years ago, is when trauma happens to us, and that's where I was relying on the Western medical system to get me through something, which is okay. It is totally okay. But as we get more conscious, and it's like I've been wanting to come off these meds for a couple of years, and then it was just October 21st. It's time. Spirit said, it's time. Make it. I heard it. I felt it. And there's this trust within myself I've never had to this depth, to this level of trusting myself, not putting that outward for other people. As I was mentioning a few times last night about this lady who's struggling right now, and I finally had to lovingly call her out, and I said, stop reaching externally. Stop. Because that's when the craziness can really happen, and that's what she's done to herself. And, we all would like to have quick fixes. There's no such thing as a quick fix. I would sooner have this kind of fixing that I'm doing from the inside out than living a facade and trying to put on a facade to other people. Like, oh, I'm this. You listen to me. I know how to do this. That. When somebody says, you listen to me, that their way is the right way, that's a huge red flag for me. A red flag. And that's why I am very selective in the people that I share the work on my page. Because you guys notice I don't share very often people's work. And, I just don't. But all of a sudden, every now and again, there's something that somebody has, it's like I posted this the other day. Jade Rader has an event in Mount Shasta, a retreat. And she's already got the house, and And usually, as we all know, it's usually women. There's always some men, but I'm not aware of any men going to Jade's event. So you want to see magic? Whoops, sorry. Jade is phenomenal. I've attended some of her events, and she's the real deal, just as Todd Medina, Susanna Mara, Deb Reed. I know some amazing people. I'm very grateful for these people because, and this includes you guys, like I was saying last night on my live, that you guys have all helped me to see me. I've already sort of seen me, but I'm seeing me. I've always had a huge heart. And how I got to express that was mainly through my music, because talking was not comfortable. But my music reflects my deep, deep, deep self. Use your discernment and not your judgment. Use your discernment, because we can go into the head and justify. But if you use your discernment, it gives you that time to step back and go within and really check in with yourself. Trust that. That is your gift from God. Your gut, your instincts, your intuition. We all have it. But most of us, including me, where I was born into this very dysfunctional, controlling, it was crazy. And I knew how to act, say, behave. And it's like even me having that huge tumor that was bigger than a football on my left side of my ovaries. That caused me to have a partial hysterectomy. It was after that that I say I lost myself. It wasn't that. Part of it is hormonal, yes. But that knowledge and awareness was not there back in '96. Not the way it is today. And because I reached out for counseling, and my counselor, Farida, she created a safe space and a container for me to come in every week. Where I open up to my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own emotions. Because I've always had a tendency to dismiss. And it's like when I say this, because I'm dealing with homophobia in my family. They say one thing, oh, we love you, Ernie, no matter what. Then their actions are the opposite. And I went, holy shit. And that's where we can dismiss other people's behavior, conduct, etc. All we want, we can dismiss it. But is it doing ourselves any service by dismissing that, minimizing it? Not at all. And what I've been finding is, like, haven't talked to any immediate family in years. Some people have been closer, I think 10 years for one, and prior to that, be another 10 years for them, right? It's like, why would I don't care if they're my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my cousin, I don't give a shit. Those are just labels. That's all they are. But the one thing that's very important to me is that I honor myself. Respect myself. Because no one's ever going to respect me the way I need to respect, to be respected. But most importantly, I need to honor myself and how this makes me feel. Because I cannot change how other people do what they do, act, say, behave. The only control I have is me. I've always been a hermit. I just don't like socializing with people. Never have. But why are we compromising ourselves with other people for the sake of a relationship or a friendship or a relative relationship, like whatever it is? Like, I don't want assholes in or near me, now or ever. I want kind, loving people who are doing their work, doing their best, and will speak truth to the best of their ability. That's who I want in and around me. I'm not looking for perfection, because I'm not perfect. Fuck no. I'm not. Somebody said, I'm glad you're here. And I said, I'm glad I'm here too. That's what I've said inside of myself when I read that. I just hadn't mentioned it yet. Because more importantly, I'm here for me. My light, is getting brighter and brighter. And I'm getting more comfortable and emerging into this part of who I really am. So don't be fooled by what people try to pretend to be. It's more importantly, because anybody can create anything on Facebook to have a facade of this or that. It's like, because they care about their image. I don't care about my image, but what I care about is truth, honesty, integrity, self-respect. We all go through times when we just want to withdraw from everybody and just to, you could say, regroup, whatever. We all have our own ways of doing that. Mine, of course, is my guitar. She's my vehicle. I so love. Yeah. I need to put this up. I didn't read it all yet, but I read most of it. I'm going to put this up so you guys can see it. Stripping away the layers of not us. We're growing brighter in every moment, and these qualities. Absolutely. When I say this is, we all have a way of speaking and expressing things. But we know instinctually, intuitively, in every which way, when somebody expresses something, if it's genuine or not. That was genuine. this is genuine, just so you know, because I'm running on 8 different platforms here, so because there's times when I don't feel like talking. But right now, because I know it has to do with the transformation that I'm going through, coming off of these meds, being off one completely, and in 2 weeks will be the other one. That, you know, my body's changing, and it's amazing. You know, these emotions, tears showing up. I don't need to know why or to pinpoint. I don't need to dive into that. Doesn't matter. It's about when it does come, to allow it to come and just be with it and allow it, honor it. Because I also know for myself, because these tears are the ones that got me to go on meds. Because it was uncontrollable, what I thought was uncontrollable. And that's why it got me onto these meds to start with. I trust that you can hear and feel that it's not for me. Because I don't feel that way. I'm actually quite impressed with myself for being a single person, doing this on my own, with even where I've been in 3 major relationships, which one was before I had my hysterectomy, so I've dated a couple people in between, but not many people, because I'm very selective. And it'd be nice to have somebody to be a part of my life, but I don't need somebody to be a part of my life or in my life. More importantly, that I get me. I get me. And in turn, you guys get more of me. That's why I'm very proud of myself and not holding back and running away from stuff. I have, you know, my longtime friend, Deb, you know, that's been very incredible friendship and relationship that we have. The respect and love that we have for each other, and we kick each other in the ass when it's needed. That's good friends, because it's not about controlling. It's about, sometimes we do things, you know, we're all doing our best. I'll put it that way. We're all doing our best. And like, even if you're struggling right now, do whatever it is that you need to do for you. And the one thing you guys all know, because I usually do a live a day, usually. Sometimes I go a couple of days, just depends how I feel. It's not about you guys. It's about how I feel. And I honor myself. And I'm very proud of myself because I got nothing to prove to anybody. But what is important is that I prove to myself that my own worthiness is valuable. For those who weren't here near the beginning, because there's my ex-partner who's very abusive to me, had read her ugliness this morning. I read the message. And I just went, what the fuck? So, you know, when Spirit showed me in January when she reared her head then too. And the ugliness is her behavior, her conduct, her arrogance. That's her ugliness. You know, we're all survivors, but that doesn't give you the right to project and tear down other people and hurt other people. That kind of behavior, conduct. And I knew, when I say this, even before we moved in together, I knew it wasn't safe or wasn't a wise decision back then. Because I think we moved in, I'm just throwing these numbers out here, around 2006, 2008. Yeah, and, you know, we are all in pain, but it does not give us the right to project that pain onto others to make them feel like they're lesser than. That is their responsibility to deal with their shit, but how dare they project that? And that's what they do. They project their pain to make you feel the fucking pain that they're feeling. And then I curl up into a ball. Even just before we moved into this new place, we were there, and she went off on her spats, and I hid in the closet. Like I said, I knew it wasn't good for her. I just wanted to live with her. I wanted to create a life with her. That's what I wanted, because I could see the goodness in her. But what Spirit's been showing me lately, not since this morning, but it keeps on showing me just how the things that she had done to me while we're even dating, and it just like, Spirit is reminding me what I condoned and allowed, because I loved her. Denial. Sweep underneath the carpet. Yeah. But what I didn't realize is how I was dishonoring, disrespecting myself by minimizing, condoning such inappropriate behavior and conduct of another. But it speaks volumes about her behavior and conduct. Spoke volumes. I just didn't see it then. But now I see it. And that's why Spirit has shown me things that have happened while we're dating. You know, it was not good. And I'm not beating myself up about that. I'm just stating a fact. And this is the thing about all of this, you know, and I'm speaking for myself as I say this, is we need to get our head out of our ass and step back and go within and see things for what they are, not what you think they are or what you make it to believe it is, but our gut, our instincts, our intuition. This is the greatest gift that God has given us all. I just didn't understand what it was then, but I now understand what it is, and that is the most important thing. So I nurture that, and it's like a muscle. It gets stronger, bigger, and it's like stepping into more who I really am and showing my light to you all in whatever way, shape, or form that is. I hope my intentions of sharing this is a two-way street in hopes that it can help somebody else, number one. And if she sees this, before I block her, that she hears it coming out of me. Oh, I want to share this with you. We talk about manipulation. In January, when she reached out to me, and she was saying, you know that music that we listen to all the time? Can you tell me what artist that was? And what album so I can get it? That's how she tried to manipulate her way. And I'm going, what the fuck? But that's how they manipulate. They come in underneath and go, oh, remember that music, and try to draw me back in. Well, it didn't work. Her message this morning, I only read it once, but I didn't really read it to read it. I just read it. And I just went, delete, get rid of it. I don't want her energy in and around me in any of the work I do. I know I'm a public figure. I take that quite seriously. But that does not give her or anybody else the right to invade in my space. You know, if people want to watch from the outside, that's one thing. But don't make a comment or remark, because I've gotten really good at this. Blocking. And, you know, I had this lady, she sent me this weird shit, and then she sent something to me about some bank that's doing blah, blah, blah. Like, what? I don't even know this lady. Like, what I'm saying is this. When I went and checked out her page after getting this thing yesterday night, I'm going through it. I don't like your energy. I don't care if you sell, what is it, living something oils. That does not make you a good person. That's just a product. That does make you a good person. And I was looking at her newsfeed, and I'm thinking, holy shit. So I turned around and I'm unfriending her. I want to clear out certain people, put it this way. I think you guys will all understand. I don't want that kind of dark energy attached to my Facebook, YouTube, etc., etc. And even this morning when I was on YouTube speaking about that, it said that I subscribed to this person, I'm not thinking, I never subscribed to that, nor that, so I unsubscribed. And it's like, I'll choose who I follow. As you guys know, I think I follow something like around 1,000 people. Do I see 1,000 people every day? Fuck no. Right? But I also know that Spirit will bring the right kind of energy for me to see. So I'm able, hopefully, to share. And that's where you guys get a lot of the stuff. And that's where, you know, I only share stuff that resonates with me. There's a lot of incredible stuff that people put out. And I love what their messaging, and that's where I believe with all my heart that every person we're all doing our best. We all have stuff going on. But that stuff does not identify us. Not at all. I want to share something with you guys. A friend of mine, I've known her name is Vicky. I've known her for 2.5, 3 years. She lives in the UK. She's an amazing artist. Now this is pretty, I never noticed it until now. But this is her work. I was doing a live one day, and that's what she drew. She channeled that. And she told me, and she goes, I want to send it to you. I said, yeah, here's my address. Yeah. She does amazing work. And that's where, you know, some of the stuff that you guys share with me, more so in a private space, which is fine, just whatever you're comfortable with, is like this. I'm going to get this frame because it's on my desk. It's the same thing with, shortly after I moved in here, a song was channeled called Wings. And this energy was moving through me to create a video and gather stuff about wings and record that song and put this stuff together. It hasn't happened yet, okay? But my friend, this is hand-drawn, you guys. These are one of two that I've gotten. And this is from, I can't believe this. Her name will come to me a sec. Oops. That's my dad's guitar she hand drew. It's identical to my dad's guitar and wings on it. And I'm going to be using this as part of my logo as well. I'm going to have two logos. This, that's what you see when you look at my page right now. And then the other one is my SG one. Then my friend Delia sent this to me. Of course, I printed them out, but stuff like that just touches me because it's so good to be around a community of people of enlightened, it's not even about being perfect, but enlightened beings that we're working our way through to understand more about who we are. I know my purpose, and I've known this for quite a few years, that my purpose is my music. And, you know, I had to put it away for, I think it was around 13 years, because I was going to, because I know when people hear what I do, because it's not based on what I think, it's what I've experienced. I remember when the first time I played publicly my music, it was one of my neighbors, her kid's school was having something, and she asked me if I would come. I said, sure. And I was playing, and I remember distinctly, this one song is called The Journey of Life, which is going to be turning into the Circle of Life. And I was playing that song, and I sort of opened my eyes slightly, and I looked out, and people were crying, and just feeling, touching. That was my first experience, but I was not scared of touching them the way I touched them. I was honored that I touched them in such a deep level. And then I looked into an early, see, I can't remember right now, my brain's just going mush. But I looked into, you know, some people approached me about doing this as a full-time thing. And I knew what I do was special. So I got onto this program, got accepted in. I had to go before a board of directors. And to do what I do is one of the most difficult industries to be in, which is the music industry. Because some of them have the look, this, that. Doesn't matter how I look, it's about matter what I do. That's what really matters. And so when I went to see this board and they said to me, you know, this is one of the most difficult things to do, I said, yeah, I'm very aware. I said, look, I can sit here and talk to you guys all I want. You guys already got my album. But here's the thing is this, I want you to experience it in person. So I played for them. I got accepted because they got it. The worker that was supposed to be there to support and help me through this, right? Because it was a 1-year program with a 6-month, where you just have to renew it. As long as you're making some effort at it, that's what And the lady that was supposed to help and support me wasn't doing her job, simply put. And I was going to go in for a renewal. I was trying to get all the stuff done for it, and I said, I want to go talk to the board again. She prevented and stopped it from me seeing this board. And they pulled the plug on me. She pulled the plug on me. It was devastating because I put so much effort into this, and it hurt. It hurt. That I literally put my music away for about 13 years. Yeah. And then about 2014, 2015, I started to play again. It's not that I ever stopped playing, but I didn't pursue anything. I just went back into the 3D world. I don't know how to operate in that world. I don't know how to live in that world, never have. I like this world. Because there's truth, there's honesty, there's integrity, ownership, evolution. So I put, God is so good too. And the word is absolutely yes. But here's the thing is, for us, a lot of us, because where we were taught, could say, programmed, that God is outside of us. No, God's within us. God's within every single one of us. It's us understanding what this information is. And that's why I'm so grateful for this community, because that's what I now get to understand completely. And no more holdbacks at my end. None. I want to keep on progressing the way I've been progressing and unfolding and evolving. Because it's fucking incredible. Fucking incredible. So, on that note, I'm going to end this. I'm going to be back in a couple minutes, and I'm just going to play. So, I'll be back shortly, and I just realized that I have the wrong date and everything on here, and I'm going to have to go back and change that. Me bad, but me good. It's just, I just knew I need to get on here and just do this and just, yeah. So, blessings, everybody. See you guys in a few minutes, and let's get some music happening. Okay, love you all.